I'm Tom from Do-It-Yourself Home Automation, and this is a look at some strategies that you can use to hack your use of your green bin and your recycling in order to cut your trash bill substantially. So if you live in a jurisdiction like I do where you're getting private trash service, usually you're paying only for the actual garbage, not for the green waste or the recycling. And you pay by the size of your can. So if you can reduce the size of your trash can by having less garbage that goes to the landfill, then you can cut your trash bill substantially per month. And where I live in California, it can be very substantial. So for a 20-gallon bin like this one, it's about $20 a month, versus if you had the largest size, it would be over $100 a month for the trash bin, the 96-gallon. So if you can reduce your trash, you actually can save quite a lot of money. And there's a couple of different strategies I'm going to share that I've used to do this. So first, just looking at some numbers, according to the average estimate, most people in America generate about 4.5 pounds of landfill garbage per person per day. And a standard rate to convert that to gallons is about 1.5 gallons or 1.5 pounds per gallon. So that means that each person is generating maybe around 3 gallons per day. So for a family of three, that should be about 60 gallons per week. And that's a pretty standard size for a small family to have for their garbage bin. But again, if you can use your other bins more effectively, then you can essentially hack that and reduce that number down to the smallest size, which is this 20-gallon capacity, without having to make a huge change to your lifestyle. So a couple strategies for that. The first and most obvious is just to recycle a lot more. And a lot of people don't realize a lot of things are recyclable in their jurisdiction that they might be throwing into their garbage bin. So for example, I mean, obviously plastic water bottles, food containers that are clean, that have a recycling logo on them, that kind of thing. But also plastic bags, for example. So what you would get in the supermarket, or what produce would be wrapped in. If you actually bag those and put them in the recycling bin, in many places, including where I am in California, those can actually be recycled at the curbside. Obviously metal containers, metal cans, that kind of thing. But if you go onto the website for your service provider, you can often find a full list, and you'd be surprised what other kinds of things, again, like plastic bags, you can be putting in here instead of into your garbage bin. Obviously, putting different recycling bins around your house can be really helpful, so you have them not just in the kitchen, but in multiple rooms, asking guests to help you recycle when you're cleaning up, that kind of thing. So just to get more recyclables into that stream, because that's a pretty obvious way to save, since those tend to be pretty bulky items. Less obvious, and something that's really an area for a lot more savings for a lot of people, is the green waste bin. So in certain jurisdictions this might be different, but where I am, most people assume this is only for yard waste, which is not actually the case where I am. This can actually be used for any kind of organics. So check with your provider, but if they say that this is an organics bin rather than a yard waste bin, that means you can put all kinds of things in it that you might not expect. Basically anything that can be composted, anything that's not plastic or metal, can go in here. So you can see I've got old egg carton. You can put dirty takeout boxes, like a pizza box and that kind of thing. I'm recycling my Amazon Fresh totes in here. You can put any kind of food waste and kitchen scraps and that kind of thing. Coffee grounds, even lumber that's not treated or painted. So if you have wine crates or anything like that that's made out of wood that would ordinarily take up a ton of capacity in your garbage, you can put that kind of thing in there. And what I found was very effective is to get some compostable trash bags and set up a trash can in the kitchen to put any kind of food scraps, cardboard kinds of containers, egg cartons. You can see there's a fruit container in there, that kind of thing. That can all go into that bin, and then that goes into this green waste along with any kind of yard clippings. And that saves a ton of capacity. That was sort of the biggest step, I think, to getting down to this 20-gallon garbage bin, was just to start to use more of that. Even you can see there's some paper towels in there. So if you have kitchen paper towels, those can all go in. So that makes a huge difference. And really, it's just a matter of sorting that out of your landfill stream and into the green waste stream. Another thing that makes a big difference is take advantage of opportunities where you can throw things away outside of the house. So I added a trash trash bin in my car, and any kind of items that are in there, like water bottles or food wrappers and that kind of thing, I'll put in the car trash can. And then when I fill up with fuel, I just throw those away at the trash cans that are provided at the gas station. And that's an easy way to take some of your stream out of your landfill bin and get it into still into the trash in that case, but it saves you some of the capacity by using a bin that's been provided for you in a different location. Obviously, you can't go overboard with that and use people's bins for unauthorized disposal or anything like that, but just taking advantage of opportunities where you're allowed to throw things away outside of the house helps to reduce your own stream here. Not better for the environment, but does save you a little bit of capacity there. And then the final step is, if you can, make some adjustments to your lifestyle, including buying things in bulk and using your own containers instead of throwaway containers and that kind of thing. Shifting away from using plastic bags that you can't recycle. And just sort of trying to reuse as much as possible in your own home so that you're throwing away fewer of the larger non-recyclable containers and that kind of thing. Some really surprising things you can recycle, though, if it's clean, like foil, that can all go into the recycling bin over here. But really, it's sort of things like plastic wrap that's dirty, containers that get too dirty that can't be cleaned, and that kind of thing that have to go in here. And the other thing that ends up in the landfill bin is any kind of pet waste and that kind of thing that can't be composted. But really, if you're smart about it and you start to do more recycling, make better use of the green bin through recycling food scraps and soiled takeout containers and that kind of thing, use some capacity outside of your home for disposal, and also change your lifestyle a little bit to emphasize reusable containers and that kind of thing. It's very reasonable for a family of 3 or even 4 to reduce their landfill to 20 gallons per week. Again, that can save you $75 a month if you're in my area in California, probably even more in other places. And obviously, it's a really great thing for the environment to be composting and recycling more material than you're throwing away. So those are some strategies for hacking your trash bill. If you found this helpful in any way, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps.